looks like an Adonis. And then there's Bektemir Melikuziev. It doesn't look so shabby himself. Two heavy hitters about to collide here in the super middleweight division.
And Zdeněk Beko is going to come straight at Bektemir Melikuziev. One of the things he learned from watching that fight against Darius Fulgham is that Fulgham had a lot of success putting some pressure on Beck, sticking that jab in his face, making him more of a back foot fighter. When you allow Beck to get some momentum, pin you against the ropes, that's when those body shots coming in.
Sergio Melikuziev, when he hesitates, kind of looks ordinary, but when he's confident, he's destructive.
Yeah, once he starts feeling the flow, feeling the rhythm, touching those body shots, then he loops those left hands around the guard. But everything comes out from the foundation, from the bottom, from the feet. He's a power puncher, but he has to set those up from that southpaw stance with the footwork.
And that could have been a near catastrophe there, as both those guys came crashing in, but their heads just missed having a head-on collision.
Boy, Bektemir pretty aggressive here in round one. You mentioned Beko wanted to be on the front foot. Melikuziev isn't letting him do that.
Yeah, a big, strong, muscular guy like Beko, he's going to look awkward on the back foot. He's accustomed to being on the front foot. This is what that muscular tone turns against fighters when they miss. When they miss their opponents, they fall off balance, and the muscles aren't going to save them.
Left to the body there from Beko. Bektemir made a name for himself in the amateur ranks. 2015 world champion, silver medalist. 2016 Olympic silver medalist. Lost in the Olympic final to Arlen Lopez. Then turned pro in 2019, signed with Golden Boy.
Big shot there by Melikuziev. That's what I want to see more. Straight left hands to the torso of Beko.
Yeah, Melikuziev is kind of the unofficial leader of that group of Uzbekis that trained out of the Diaz gym in Indio, California. You saw MJ Akhmadaliev in the corner, Shakur Diasov, part of that group as well.
Akhmadaliev was wearing a sombrero too.
I think he took Beck's sombrero. I think he just borrowed it when Beck came to the ring.
Yeah, you get a lot of smiles and sombreros when you're dealing with that team.
A couple of good body shots early on from Beck, straight downstairs to that left hand.
Sergio, you mentioned that Mexicans have a love for Melikuziev. They like his fighting style. What is it about his style that they seem to like so much?
Well, first of all, it's a smile. You know, he likes having fun in there as he inflicts pain. But it's the body shots. Mexicans love body shots that punch to the liver, and that's the thing that makes Melikuziev so dangerous. He's a vicious body puncher. There you saw it right there. He landed a good left hand to Beko, and Beko took that punch well. Look for that left hand to land again on the wide shoulders of Beko.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Bring that up. Get that up.
Right below the belt, referee warning Bektemir. Round one next.
Time.
They have wide shoulders. Those are the hardest punchers, the Tommy Hearns of the world.
Oh, big right hand. Speaking of big punchers.
You know, to catch Antonio Diaz at the end of that last round, say Beko was trying to set up that Rosado shot, which is the counter right, and Rosado landed to knock out Bektemir Melikuziev.
I don't know how that. I have no clue how Beko's taking those body shots. I mean, Beck the Bully lands clean shots to the body, right in the breadbasket that Beko's eating those up.
Yeah, he's taking some shots to the head too, Sergio.
Yes, he has. Tough fighters like Beko, but tough ain't enough.
Beck's looking really good early here. Last couple performances, not that they've been shaky, but they just haven't been as electrifying as we've seen Beck early in his career before that sensational knockout loss to Gabe Rosado. A loss, by the way, which he defended, or he avenged in his next fight to beat Gabe Rosado. By the way, Gabe Rosado back in the ring on a Misfits card in Derby, England next month.
Sounds like something Sergio's due for.
No.
We'll get you over there one day. Don't worry. We'll find the perfect opponent. Wait.
Look at that shot.
Yeah.
Becco does have a great chin. Those two knockouts to Burrell and to Iglesias came in the second round, but he ate a lot of punishment, so much so that the referee had to jump in and stop those fights while he was on his feet. So he's going to be able to take a lot of these shots. It has been taking a lot of these shots from Becco.
You know, everyone watches that knockout right hand that Rosado landed to Beck and think they can duplicate it. As Becco said earlier this week, we think we can catch him with that overhand right.
Now, that's what Antonio Diaz was just saying in the corner to him earlier. Said he's been looking for it. He's looking for that counter right. Be cautious of it.
I would like to see Melakuziev start hiding that power. That's the one thing about Beck the Bully. He loads up, and then fighters can see that punch coming. Even when it lands, they brace for that shot to land. But if he hides the power behind one, speed, and then touch, power, touch. That's when you can fool your opponent into falling for traps.
Good left hand for Melakuziev.
10 seconds.
It's not about getting the one punch in the first or second round. It's the accumulation of punches that eventually gets you in the later half.
Those punches don't feel good either. Becco also said that he's been working on his fundamentals in camp, trying to find his power. And he says, listen, my power's back. I'm stronger than I've ever been. 34 years old. He's got that old man strength.
It's not the power that I'm worried about that Becco needs to work on. It's his fluidity. He's a very stiff fighter. He should focus a little bit on being a little bit more loose, and that's how he can not only go into the later rounds and preserve strength, but you can catch your opponent off guard with speed, power.
A big deep breath back Becco after that body shot.
Yeah, they dropped his arms to protect the body. That leaves the chin exposed. A systematic breakdown so far for Melakuziev on Becco.
A strong fighter like a Becco, he's going to catch your first shot. I would like to see Beck the Bully start doubling shots from the same side. That way he can alternate defensively. You can catch him off guard.
You heard Joe Vargas, the trainer of Becco, say, look, you've taken all his best shots. It's time for you to start landing something. But when you throw, Sergio, you're exposed to taking more damage. Another body best shot stairs, and it almost dropped Becco. He got the chicken legs.
Benjamin Melakuziev kind of admired his right there for a moment. Didn't step in, thought he was going to be able to score a knockdown.
Good shot, good hook. Beck. And this is where Beck can get in trouble. He starts loading up, but Becco can't take advantage of this. One-time right hand.
How did Becco not go down? It was like an electric shock went through his system.
The body language of Becco all around has just been awful. Like he's a stationary target, not throwing punches, just looking to block these shots as best he can.
Another deep breath for the African assassin. Another left on the ear. Everything smelling like roses for Melakuziev.
Now, something tells me when Benjamin Melakuziev goes back in the corner, the Diaz brothers are going to have something to say about him going in there and trying to score a finish.
And double body shot. Hitting both sides of the body. That's going to do it. The body shot's going to finish him. But Becco can take a big shot upstairs.
Great round for Melakuziev.
Time.
Nearly went down there in the third, taking on Bektemir Melakuziev.
Like Becco, Sergio, and maybe it is a little bit of looking for that Gabe Rosado shot, but it seems like he's looking for just one perfect counter.
Well, he can't compete with the footwork of Melakuziev. He can't compete with the speed of Melakuziev. And ultimately, anytime he throws a shot coming forward, he falls off balance when he misses.
Becco thinking defense first right now. Has those gloves up tight, elbows pinched in. Trying to cover up as much of his body as he can.
Yeah, he's in there with a much skilled, much polished fighter in Melikuzian, and it's showing.
Nice right there. Look at the power shots landed in the third. Melikuzian 29-7.
And they clashed heads, and I believe Beck is cut once again.
Yep.
And that's a cut right above the bridge of the nose. Blood seems to be trickling straight down, so maybe not a problem right now for Bektemir Melikuzian. But here you go, you've got two guys coming in clashing heads. They avoided this type of incident a round ago, but this time just too close, too much close contact.
That's a pretty deep looking cut. But it's not in that super danger zone right above the eyelid.
Now, Melikuzian has a lot of scar tissue around those eyes, and he's getting cut often, but compared to the other cuts that I've seen on Beck Border, this isn't as bad.
Ready? Just par for the course for Melikuzian. Doesn't even blink an eye. He's like, yeah, I'm cut, so what? Let's keep fighting.
Aside from Melikuzian lunging into shots, it's the fact that he keeps that left arm down by his hip that causes those headbutts.
Maybe Agbeko, seeing the blood now on the face of the bully, will try and be more proactive offensively. Sergio, what can he do to change this thing around? Obviously, the waiting for one punch to land isn't working.
I think he just started winging his shots around. Relying on hooks now. The straight shots aren't doing it for Melikuzian because he bounces back and he gets out of reach. But if you start hooking around the guard and becoming more of a left and right hooker, maybe you can catch Melikuzian pulling back. Agbeko does have 4 inches in reach, so maybe you can catch him off guard. Punching behind the head, just like that. Hooking around the guard.
Took advantage of Melikuzian kind of stumbling over his feet there. Sergio, you're always talking about feints, split feints, upper body feints. Agbeko's fighting on everything.
Yeah, because, he's heavy front foot, and that's where the muscles turn against you as well, because you're so heavy, so stiff, so strong, that those strip feints are just free. They get you a bit when you don't want to attack.
Nice body shot there from Melikuzian. As Agbeko tried to throw a punch between the shot. There's one. Oh, man. Just relentless body attack from the bully.
Time.
Damn, this is what I mean by that. The gym.
Too much kind of loading up for one shot for the Diaz's.
Round 5 scheduled for 10 here at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. 3 fights to go after this one, including up next Frank Martin and Nair Albright in the super lightweight division.
Yeah, and if you're going to be wanting Beck to start punching more fluidly with combinations, you got to work on that in sparring in the gym. Putting combinations together like that, and not just loading up on a 1 and a 2. But this is ammo that we've seen from Melikuzian. He loads up on every shot. He telegraphs his power, especially that left hand to the body.
Yeah, but he's landed a lot of these big power shots, Sergio. It's just Agbeko's got the chin to withstand it, it seems. At least so far. But his plodding around the ring, his flat feet, his stationary non-movement is really not helping him.
Don't pull it. Don't pull it.
See, like right there, actually keep pushing him back. Even if it's just 1-2, just keep attacking with those straight shots. You back up a big, strong fighter like this, they're not accustomed going backwards. They fall off balance. Especially when you pivot and get an angle like that, you attack as soon as you get that angle and flank your opponent. You can already see it. Beckles discouraged by skill. By skill and footwork.
Beck trying to find a way in on this big, strong fighter who currently fights out of Nashville, Tennessee. Proudly represents both Ghana and the United States.
I think if you're Beck, it's all about just digging downstairs to that body. Just keep investing in those body shots. Like, Becco has an excellent chin. He's shown that in this fight. He's shown it in all of his fights.
Beck really wanted to throw that left hand.
Yeah, but he's not setting up behind jabs. And it's easy to see it coming. You know, whenever you telegraph every single shot like that and you don't hide it behind jabs, you know, you're making it easier for your opponent.
Five.
Round 6 scheduled for 10. Melakuziev giving you a couple jabs to start the round, Sergio. How about that? It's interesting that Bektemir had so much amateur success because his style does not look like an amateur style at all.
No, it does not. But in the bigger weight divisions, you know, that the foot speed is actually what made Beck so accomplished. You know, the in and out darting footwork that he has. Normally, the big guys aren't accustomed to that. They're really heavy on the front foot. Every time Beck the Bully gets an angle, he never capitalizes on it. You know, he shifts, he pivots his right foot, gets the angle, but he doesn't jab from that side stance, and I think that's actually working against him. Becco's falling for it every time. Melakuziev is not capitalizing.
And then this again, Sergio, where he's kind of admiring his work a little bit. He lands these big shots, then he pauses and takes a look at it. He's got to follow up those combinations. You know as a fighter when you've hurt somebody.
He's not capitalizing is what I'm saying. So he gets good work in, but then he lets him off the hook.
Nice right hand.
Like, that's it. Get on him. Becco's hurt.
Yeah, he might be ready to go here in round 6.
And I tell you, watching the corner of Bektemir Melakuziev, you see Joel Diaz sitting there waving his free ring, trying to get his attention to get him coming forward.
Yeah, this is the gear that Melakuziev is missing. He's not throwing combinations. He's not throwing throws of speed. He's still looking for a big power shot. This is working against him.
Yeah, they are angry in the corner. Kind of remarkable considering Melakuziev's won all 5 rounds, surely.
Yeah, but he's not going for the knockout behind combinations. He's looking for that one punch knockout, and it's not going to come. He's going to have to get this knockout by a flurry of punches. See, that one shot's not enough.
I don't know. I think he's going to land one of those big shots, and finally the chin is going to crumble.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
Because right now, I think Becco's way too strong to turn, and he's proven he can take in one single shot.
Oh, there's another one.
There it is right there. That would knock out pretty much anybody except that man.
A couple deep breaths for Bektemir. Those power punches take a lot to throw. Step in left hand, switches back to southpaw. Man,
10 seconds.
taking a beating in there.
Taking a beating, and he's outclassed.
Time.
The 2 times he's been knocked out, 2 of the last 3 fights, he's been stopped on his feet. So there's an opening for Beck to just let his hands go. See if he can get the referee to step in. And he's seeing what's happening there. The body of Becco is getting broken down. The face is starting to get swelled up. He's lost every single round of this fight. I think Beck should stop loading up as much as he is and try to start letting his hands go.
Malakuziev 10 knockouts in his 16 wins. But if Bekko survives this fight or doesn't get stopped, kudos to him. It's a man's man in there.
The 3 times that Bekko stopped was early in the fight, so I think now that we're at the second half of the fight, he's already felt the power. He's already gone to the worst of Malakuziev, so power's not going to stop at Bekko. It's going to be combinations and speed, and right now, Malakuziev is not putting together the combinations. It's single power shots.
He still has that footwork moving. Bektemir told us yesterday, this isn't the fight I wanted. I prefer to have someone a little higher ranked, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, and I'll fight anybody. WBA has made him the #1 contender to face Mendez for his title. Chris, he said they promised him that after Mendez's next fight, he'll get the winner, but we know how those promises go sometimes, right?
Yeah. Resendez sitting there with that world championship. We'll see how his next few months shake out. But if you're Bektemir Malakuziev, even if you didn't want this type of opponent, you want to look spectacular against this opponent. He's been able to rack up wins since that loss to Rosado, but he needs more highlights. He needs some of those highlights he had early in his career to really sell himself as a top opponent.
Well, if you roll the highlights of this fight together on a 2-minute clip, you'll see Bektemir land about 15 to 20. Jaw-crunching power punches on, and Bekko's body is finally failing him. And down he goes!
It was a right hook after catching Bekko off guard by the side, and that caught him off balance. And Bekko didn't see that punch coming. And he's not even
10 seconds.
The referee giving him plenty of time. Can Bektemir land one punch?
Oh, did he win? Did he win?
the single power shots. The single power shots.
He still has that footwork moving.
His next few months.
You roll the highlights of this.
Off guard by the side, and that caught him off balance. And Bekko didn't see that punch coming. And he's not even able to shake this off, guys.
The referee giving him plenty of time. Can Bektemir land one punch? And he'll stop it. He gets the knockout. Bektemir, the bully,
And Bekko's body was reacting like a fighter that took one of those equilibrium shots. We've seen that happen over and over again. Chris Flores, the referee, gave Bekko a chance to continue, and maybe could have made it to the end of that round. There was only about a second or two left before that bell rang, but that was a tough knockdown by Bektemir Malakuziev.
Off guard by the side, and that caught him off balance. And Bekko didn't see that punch coming. And he's not even able to shake this off, guys.
The referee giving him plenty of time. Can Bektemir land one punch? And he'll stop it. He gets the knockout. Bektemir, the bully,
And Bekko's body was reacting like a fighter that took one of those equilibrium shots. We've seen that happen over and over again. Chris Flores, the referee, gave Bekko a chance to continue, and
Oh,
his
did
next
he
few
win?
months shake out. But if you're Bektemir Malakuziev, even if you didn't want this type of opponent, you want to look spectacular against this opponent. He's been able to rack up wins since that loss to Rosado, but he needs more highlights. He needs some of those highlights he had early in his career to really sell himself as a top opponent.
Bekko.
Well, if you roll the highlights of this fight together on a 2-minute clip, you'll see Bektemir land about 15 to 20. Jaw-crunching power punches on, and Bekko's body is finally failing him. And down he goes!
It was a right hook after catching Bekko off guard by the side, and that caught him off balance. And Bekko didn't see that punch coming. And he's not even able to shake this off, guys.
The referee giving him plenty of time. Can Bektemir land one punch? And he'll stop it. He gets the knockout. Bektemir, the bully,
And Bekko's body was reacting like a fighter that took one of those equilibrium shots. We've seen that happen over and over again. Chris Flores, the referee, gave Bekko a chance to continue, and maybe could have made it to the end of that round. There was only about a second or two left before that bell rang, but that was a tough knockdown by Bektemir referee did the right job stepping in and maybe saving Ekbeko from himself.
That's exactly what he did because Ekbeko wasn't going to go down. And one shot wasn't going to put him down. He forced the referee to stop this fight. Melakuzian was hitting him with everything he was throwing. A fighter like that, it was only a matter of time before he seriously gets hurt, even if he didn't hit the canvas.
Well, kudos to Ekbeko, who was complaining about the fight being stopped. I mean, he took so many shots, Sergio, to the body, to the jaw, and just refused to go down until his body basically gave up on it.
Well, it was a temple shot. You know, your legs betray you when you hit shot.
Zotto to bring it.
So basically, it was a 3-4. Three made the right choice stopping this fight.
No one's ever done. Stop.
To stop the contest, the winner by way of technical knockout. And still, WBA